For years, Japan has been the leading export market for U.S. beef, but it hasn't been easy. Recently, Cattlemen to Cattlemen reporter Brian Baxter had a chance to visit Japan to learn about the hard work that goes into building export opportunities for U.S. beef.
For Japanese consumers, one factor that influences what they buy is the story behind the product. That's one reason why the Heartland team, a group of U.S. beef, pork, corn, and soybean producers, visited Japan to make a personal connection and to show the people behind the U.S. product that's offered in Japan's grocery stores.
We have beef producers and pork producers both on this trip right now, as well as corn and soybean folks. But having a beef producer get in front of the buyer at Aeon supermarkets, which just happened an hour ago. I introduced him a few minutes ago, and we had a nice discussion. But the buyer, Aeon, is the largest retailer in Japan and a big supporter, uses only U.S. beef and U.S. pork. Having them meet one of the producers that's supplying the animals for his beef, you can just see the wheels spinning and putting together that whole story. And I think there's nobody better than a producer to help tell our story when it comes to marketing to the end users in these foreign markets.
I think strength in numbers really does work. It's really neat when we sit down and talk to some buyers today and they realize that, that we care enough about the product we're trying to sell, that we're coming from 12 states all over the country in the heart of the United States here to come to Japan and try to promote our products.
In terms of meeting with whether it's processors or retailers or the consumers, the way I feel like we're treated as U.S. producers is top-notch. It's wonderful to be associated with a product that's commanding that kind of respect and that kind of attention here in Japan.
From retail stores to restaurants, the Heartland team saw firsthand that grain-fed U.S. beef is popular in Japan. But because of an existing trade agreement, Australian beef has a significant price advantage over U.S. beef. Even so, there is the potential for a new U.S. trade agreement with Japan to level the playing field, and that, along with the ongoing work of USMEF, holds the promise of continuing the growth of U.S. beef exports to Japan.
The Japan market is very important to us. It's our #1 market and continues to grow. Tourism is becoming a very popular thing here, and with tourism, more beef consumption outside of the home, and so I think that's all goes hand in hand. And of course, we got the Olympics coming this next year. We're going to be in prime position to take advantage of that. I think this market's very important, and I think we still got continued growth that we can gain from here.
Last year, the Japanese market for U.S. beef was worth more than $2 billion. And for the Heartland team, the experience of spending time in Japan gave them confidence that U.S. producers have a bright future in this key export market.
I'm telling you, it's really amazing. The staff we have here at USMEF is doing a great job. The connections that they have with the buyers and the packers in this that we've got to meet with this week has been really amazing. I mean, we've seen many examples of what they're doing to improve beef demand here in Japan.
So yeah, USMEF partners with a lot of these retail chains and some of the importers to get into the market and let the Japanese consumer be aware of what's available to them in U.S. beef. And for me as a producer, I mean, the export market honestly is the growth industry side of things where we can really grow the beef industry.
With the USMEF Heartland team in Japan, I'm Brian Baxter reporting for NCBA's Cattlemen to Cattlemen.
To learn more about the work of the U.S. Meat Export Federation and its efforts to enhance beef demand overseas, just visit their website. That's usmef.org.